is different and could be a race against time.
This is a different situation because the Chilean mine was a gold and copper mine without methane gas. This is the difference here.
Does that make it worse?
It makes it more difficult because it's more difficult for the rescue team and it's more difficult for the miners.
The explosion is just the latest chapter.
And we've just had word that the press conference is about to start, so we'll be crossing live to Greymouth now.
Conference. We propose to have two people talk to you this morning, the Chief Executive of Pike River Coal, and he will be followed by Superintendent Gary Knowles from the New Zealand Police. We propose that both of them will speak to you first, and then we will take questions after they both finish speaking because they have a deal of information to impart to you. We will then go for see how we go in terms of question time. Obviously we don't want to be here all day. Our intention is that there would be another update at 2 o'clock this afternoon, okay? Same place. So we'll come back to you about that at the end of the briefing. But anyway, if I could start by introducing Peter to give us an update from the Pike River side of things.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming in and sharing what's obviously a strong interest in the health and welfare of our employees that are underground at the moment. What I'd like to start with is to just go back over some of the facts of what we know. I'm very well aware that there's been a lot of speculation, and I hardly recognise some of the stories and media that I've been reading myself. So I'd like to set straight some of the facts that we do know. Yesterday afternoon, about 3:45, we lost communications with the underground mine. That's not really unusual. It could have been a technical fault, and a man went into the mine to determine what had gone wrong while the rest of the crews were underground working. He found a machine parked in the roadway and saw what he thought was one of the employees lying on the ground, and he retreated from the mine. Since that time, that employee recovered sufficiently and walked out of the mine himself, and has since been treated in hospital and is just in general observation. About half an hour after that, we had a call from another employee underground to say that he believed he'd been involved in an explosion. He'd been knocked to the ground and was ringing up to say what had happened to him and that he was making his way out of the mine. He did do that, and he walked out and actually came out at about the same time as the other employee, both treated for minor injuries and both recovering in the Grey Hospital. Since that time, however, we haven't had any communication with the rest of the workforce underground. We have another 29 employees underground, so the 2 that came out plus 29 still in the mine. They are a mixture of Pike River Coal employees, about 16 employees, and another 13 contractors from various local contracting companies around Greymouth. There hasn't been any communications available to the mine since what at the time was believed to be an explosion, and since then we've confirmed was an explosion on the evidence that we can see from outside of the mine. No one's been able to go underground at this stage because the risk to personnel going in the mine is still too great, and I'll come back to that in a moment. The evidence we do have is that we've seen evidence of an explosion on the surface of the mine around the ventilation shaft, which would be the typical place that an explosion path would go, because that's up the return airway of the mine. And from the damage on the surface, we can't determine the strength and magnitude or extent of the damage underground, or indeed what impact that would have had on the employees. At this stage, we've been trying to allow mines rescue services to go underground. We have a large number of different services at the mine site, which Mr. Container will be talking to you about. We have mines rescue up there. They can't go underground at the moment because their primary consideration is their own safety, and also the safety of the men underground, that they don't put them in further jeopardy by initiating rescue when conditions aren't ideal for that rescue. So they're assessing the ventilation at the mine, and will determine at some stage during the day as to whether it's safe or not for them to enter, and after which they will seek out and recover the employees who may be trapped or may be waiting underground to be recovered to the surface. That's really the extent of what we know. The advantage we have in recovering from this mine is that it's a tunnel mine, not a shaft mine, although we do have one ventilation shaft that isn't the typical ingress or egress from the mine, and we have a number of, the men are able to walk in and out of the mine, so therefore the rescue service can also walk in and out of the mine. So it's not like a deep underground mine where the men are trapped and have to be hoisted out or anything else. We are able to effect a rescue much more easily. So once conditions are safe for the men to enter, then we will do so, and we will start that search and recovery.